I think they had one heart, but like two stomachs and one, and like everything from like the navel down, I think was like boilerplate.
You mentioned the gas that girl must have with two stomachs. Like, can you imagine? Like you're over there being dainty because you just got married and you're a newlywed, so you're eating like a grilled chicken salad, and she's over there eating like boiled eggs one after the other.
That would suck. You're like, we're trying to lose weight, and I can't do all of it.
The sulfury yolk.
I don't know what you're talking about. Deviled eggs agree with my stomach.
I just want
we're genetically identical
for dinner, honey. Yeah, that'd be horrific. I wouldn't want to live like that. There's a lot of like different ways to go through existence as a human being, but being attached to another human being would be horrific. Like having another head right there, I just wouldn't want to. Come on.
Yeah, like it's been like the arguments you'd have to have over the most benign daily things, where it's like, I'm ready for lunch, and they're like, I'm not hungry yet, and it's like, well, I can only move the left leg, so I guess we're not eating. That's how it works.
Pop-Tarts in my pocket, so fuck you,
dude. I've mentioned it before. The Opie and Anthony show has like a hilarious 50-minute bit where they watch the two-headed girl video, and it's like showing them playing baseball. And I laugh about this randomly all the time, where Jim Norton was like, "Oh, great, 2 outs at once is up." they strike them out, and you get 2 outs because they're both people. That would be very fun.
What do they call her? Like Patrice called her like a 2-handbag having hoe or something.
Yeah, something like that. It was very funny. It's one of the meanest videos they ever did.
Yeah, they're married now, like happily married. And I know
Jim Norton said he tried to find him on Facebook. Yeah,
that's so good. Norton's so fucking quick,
dude. He's so quick. He was the classic O&A with like Prime Jimmy and Prime Ant when Patrice still had his diabetes under control. The funniest radio show / podcast ever exists. Not even close.
Yeah, I always appreciated that Jim Norton is just so quick to like jump in there with a crafted little pun or witty retort for something, seemingly like it's written. It's so quick, but it couldn't have been because it was on the fly. So either he's like Joan Rivers and he has like 10,000 cards with like retorts and replies for every imaginable scenario, or he's just quick. And I think
he's just a clever, funny dude. Very, very strange man.
Very strange man. I was about to go to that. Like he's very much like Matt with his choice in the ladies, I think. They were showing Jim Norton's wife in the chat last night. What is? I haven't seen her.
Yeah, I think his wife is trans. And he was like, if you listen to very old Opie and Anthony, like episodes from like 2004, and he's like bold as like, yep. Went and saw one of those the other night, and like because it's 2004, everyone else in the show is like, God, what's going on? I was like, what are you? They like don't even have a concept of the world he inhabits, because he was addicted to prostitutes for a long time and would get tons of them.
Well, just to be clear, the trans prostitutes, and not just like he would be like, yeah, I paid this girl to spit in my mouth and tell me I was a rotten little boy, to tell me I was a worm. Apple. Yeah, she spit in my mouth and kicked me in the balls. How'd you come? Oh, so hard. And it's like, Jesus, Jimmy.
He'd like
pull yourself together.
He'd go get prostitutes every night for like months on end, and he'd be on the show being like, I don't know why, I'm just depressed. And Anthony would be like, really? You don't know why? Like, just yelling at him. Dude, he had funny stories. I guess him and Patrice O'Neill back in like the 90s used to take trips together to go to Brazil, and they would have like group prostitute trips. And so he would tell stories about like him and Patrice both like on Viagra hard, standing in the waiting room in like matching robes, waiting to be called back. And that's
Jesus.
Just the bad. I'm due for another re-listen of some O&A. It's been a year, so I always come back to that. So did you not listen to that show ever, Dick? Seems up your alley.
No, I listened to Tom Likas, actually. The Tom Likas, and it was Howard Stern, and then Tom Likas and like Tim Conway down in LA when I first got my driver's license. That's kind of when the talk radio listening starts.
Whenever I got like serious,
I've heard of Tom Likas. I don't know who that is.
Whenever I got serious in like 2010 or whatever, I just started listening to Stern every day, everywhere I went. It was all I listened to.
Yeah.
Until I went through the whole goddamn catalog. I was like, I've heard this one. I've heard this one. I've heard this one. And after a while, now I'm just watching his news shows because I think he does news shows, or at least he used to on maybe Tuesday, Fridays or some shit. But I got sick of Stern. He just got too full of himself and kind of forgot who he was and what it was about. And it's fine to evolve and do new things, but kind of left me behind, or at least my fandom.
Yeah, I never listened to Stern.
Dude, go back and watch it. If you go back,
impossible.
He would do like a who's that razor for your? What do they call that razor for your balls?
Manscaping?
He did like a Manscaped ad where you had a porn star shave a retard's balls, and it's on YouTube unedited. You know what I mean? Like he would have the one guy who wanted to be vomited on by women, so he has that guy laying on the floor, and he's brought in women who are trying to win a prize, but they're not like dominatrices or fetish people. They're just random women being forced to vomit on a man, so they're not very good at it. All that shit was great.
Yeah,
they played a game with strippers called Dumber Than a Box of Rocks. And every time they got a very easy question wrong, they had to say, I'm dumber than a box of rocks. You know, like little shit like that. I loved. Oh, the porn Olympics where they'd have the girls with strap-ons playing ping pong. All sorts of nonsense like that.
That was fun. They could do whatever they wanted on radio back then.
Yeah, I'm good for a re-listen to Eric the Midget's like entire work every once in a while.
Is he that guy who's like that little fucked up son in like Fury Road?
Yes.
He's like in the chair hanging from the ceiling. He's like
exactly
that, right?
like him.
Exactly.
Yeah. But he's a huge asshole.
Really? He's not even nice?
Oh, no. He's a total asshole.
There was a caller who called in and exposed him. He went to high school with Eric, and he's like, hey, I went to high school with Eric, and I just wanted to say, he forced the school to put in this giant fucking ramp, and it cost like $80,000, and there was no money for anything extracurricular, and then he ruined school for us for 3 years with his retard ramp. He's a piece of shit little scumbag. He's a queer bait. And Eric got so mad that there was some mafioso or ex-mafioso was part of the Stern crew, or like they go to him occasionally. And so Eric had his phone number, and he calls the mob guy and leaves a voice message that's like this: hey, that guy, find him and take care of it. You know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what to do. And so, of course, the guy takes the voice message and takes it right to Howard Stern to play on the air. And they ridicule Eric into the fucking ground. And it's just like, he was trying to put a hit on somebody. This little midget fuck was trying to put a hit out on somebody. His celebrity crush was that chick who won American Idol. That chubby brunette chick who won like early on. And so, dude, they let him meet her, but and he's just like so shy and just like he's just like looking at his like he's so pleased that he's finally got to meet his biggest like crush ever. But then they had to make a real doll out of him. Was the payment? I don't know if they did that
out of him.
Well,
so they could fuck him.
Real doll. Yeah,
that was the penance.
So they could fuck him. Well, it was a bit for the show, you know. And Real Doll was on board as a sponsor, so they're happy to create an Eric. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a great show. Great show.
Oh,
they got him a part on some TV show too when he was Eric the actor. He didn't want to be called Eric the Midget anymore.
Yeah. He was in like CSI and like Law and Orders and stuff. They get these little bit roles, and it was because of his attachment to the show. Because then they knew Stern on next morning was going to be like, "Did you see Eric on CSI Miami last night?" And then people would actually go and watch CSI Miami. Somehow Eric would boost their ratings via Trump. Yeah,
looks like he passed away about 10, 11 years ago.
I remember very well. It was a big deal.
Actor.
It was a big deal when he died. Like there was a whole like in memoriam, like multiple they played all of his best of shows, and I think he died in surgery for some sort of. There's all sorts of shit wrong with. He's got his club feet. He's got a club foot all folded up underneath him, and he was on he came into the studio, and I think somebody in the back was like, "Dude, do you have a club foot?" He's like, "It's not a club foot," and it's like clearly a club foot. It's all fucked up and turned up underneath him. Yeah, that guy was great.
I only know about the Wack Packers from you telling me the ones, and what a great job for Beetlejuice being alive at 56. Usually characters like that don't get that long.
What do you call those pinheads? What's that thing they got?
Is it microcephaly?
That's it. I think Zika virus can cause it, but that's not what happened to that little fucker. He's just a tard.
Is he mean just like Eric?
No, he's not with it enough to be mean. Like he's one of those, he's like, hey, Beetlejuice, what's 1 + 2? Ha! I know. Yeah, what is it? Ha! B.
Just doesn't know.
Hey, Beetlejuice, you doing anything today? Yep. Going to work? Hey, Beetlejuice, you doing anything today? Nope. Like he's barely there. He's like 0 to 35 or something. Like he cannot have a conversation. He can't answer questions. He can't do 1 + 1. Like you. What was 1 + 1 is 2. What's 1 + 1? 4.
What was his use to the show? Like if he couldn't even do conversation,
hilarious. Infinite use.
He'll do anything.
Yeah.
He'd just do any physical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the retard they took to space? They faked taking him to space.
Oh yeah.
It was Gary the retard.
Gary?
That's a different guy.
Yeah.
Gary
the retard.
Yeah,
Gary the retard.
Dude, old radio rules. Just
Gary the retard is just a little white guy who's very retarded. And they built him a cardboard spaceship in the studio. And I don't remember if they put a little space helmet on him, but they put him in the cardboard box. And I think they started playing like rumbly, like sound effects.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You're taking off, Eric!" And like Baba Booey's shaking the box and shit. And Eric said, "You're in space right now. You're circling the Earth. And how do you feel?" And he goes, "I'm scared. I'm scared." And they're like, "Oh shit, he's scared. We thought this was gonna be fun." All right, we're gonna bring you back to low Earth orbit now. Hang on tight, we're bringing you home. I'm scared. It was pretty messed up. Now he interviews Kamala Harris and does shit like that. It's a different show. Can you imagine that? Like,
and next up, Gary the retard's going to space. Thanks, Kamala. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck saving democracy.
Nobody seems to be a fan of Stern anymore. It seems like he's fully passed over into like the threatening legacy ruination of like he's just not funny anymore. He's like 75. Well, apparently he's just more PC than he was before, which I guess above all, he's a successful radio businessman. He has to ebb and flow with the tides of whatever network owns him. Actually, no, he doesn't at all.
No, he doesn't have to do anything. He can say whatever he wants. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah. I'm looking to see. I think maybe he's got a crazy deal. He gets these crazy deals with Sirius, but he may be at the end of that. He's so old. Like he looks so old. I don't know what drives him to get up and do that show, because he has to get up at like 4 a.m. His whole life he's been getting up at 4 a.m. to do radio shows. It's like, wouldn't you want to put an end to that? Wouldn't you want to sleep into 8 p.m. or 8 every day? I know he only does 2 or 3 shows a week now, but still, I don't know why he would want to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 71.
He always seemed miserable, you know. I liked him a lot before, like the whole format changed and it became this very serious interview program with a few quips occasionally.
Yeah.
Is that all he does now? Like no more silly?
I haven't listened in so long. I haven't listened to it in probably 5 years, but that's what it was kind of. It was becoming way more about the interviews, and they are good interviews. Like I liked his. He did a Lady Gaga interview. Who I didn't really care about her until I heard her in a long form interview, and she had a good personality, and then she played live. And playing live is so different than, you know, online or whatever. And it's like, oh shit, she's one of those actually talented musicians who could just turn on just take if she started singing at the mall or in the street, everybody would turn and look, you know, and watch because it's so good. So I like those. And I like when he's interviewing somebody I really care about because he gets to the bottom of it. But I still want to see people get vomited on and their balls shaved. That's what got me here.
Yeah, I always change it when the interviews come on. Like, all right, that's enough. I'm going to go do something else. I don't care.
Do you guys re-listen ever to that thing? Just like little memory lane nostalgia? Or no?
I don't listen to that stuff anymore.
No.
I do a lot of audiobooks. I've been listening to Warhammer audiobooks and just going extra nerdy with that shit. So if I'm listening to something, it's going to be that.